Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you saw my first video. You guys might know that I am a pretty big fan of Radiohead. However, I'm wondering if I'm the only person in the group of big Radiohead fans who's never listened to Pablo Honey. So that's what I want to do today. I want to give it a shot. I've put it off because it's often seen as the non-essential part of Radiohead's catalog. That being said, I think it's time. I think it's been long enough. I've been listening to Radiohead for several years. I can't believe that I've never listened to this all the way through. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to give you guys my first reaction of Pablo Honey, coming from albums like In Rainbows, OK Computer, A Moon-Shaped Pool. You know, I've listened to all the other Radiohead albums except for this one. So I hope the best. I hope it's a decent listen. I hope I find another gem from Radiohead that I can listen to, but we'll see. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoy it and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. It's a huge help to the channel and I'd really appreciate it, guys. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started with Pablo Honey. This one's called You. Hearing a little bit of the bends there. Okay. Very grungy to start. That was pretty cool. Wow, this sounds way heavier than Radiohead that I know. Like I hear, even just in this first song, I hear little bits from their future albums. Just little things in the guitars and the drums and stuff, but I wasn't prepared for something that heavy right out of the gate. Wow, okay. Tom really goes for the grunge rock frontman role on this album. Man, Radiohead has come a long way, that's for sure. I do like this so far. Just totally different style of music from what I've heard of Radiohead. A little grungy, I don't even know what you want to call it. Almost sounded like Pearl Jam or something there from Tom. Those guitars are just so heavy. I know there's heavy guitars on Creep, which is actually the next song, but that was grungy. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. This is one we've all heard. We've all heard Creep. Although I don't think I've ever listened to this song through headphones, so maybe this will give me a new appreciation for it. It really is a pretty song. I know it gets a lot of hate for being Radiohead's biggest hit, and I know, you know, the band probably hates playing it and everything like that, but at the root, this is a really, really pretty song. Pretty meaning, you know, obviously the guitars get huge and loud and grungy and all that, but at the root, I'd like to listen to some covers of this song, some softer covers, and just see how people have interpreted it, because it's a really sad song, and the chord progression is sad and melancholy, and I could hear it played on a piano. Yeah, if you guys know of any good covers on YouTube of this song, post a link in the comments or something, because I do really like this song, and it does sound a lot better when it's not being played through speakers of your car. So these headphones are really doing it justice. Oh, and I always like this this vocal coming up right here. Yeah, that's such an emotional scream. I like how his voice breaks out there at the end too. Just breaks up right at the end of his scream. Yeah, there's some piano. Ooh, really dissonant. Yeah, there's some of those chords in that piano just grate against you, but just the right way, you know. It's dissonance in a good way for that song. Next one's How Do You... Oh, it's not How Do You Do, it's just How Do You. It really sounds like Philip Selway just wasn't really meant to play drums on these kinds of songs. You know, you listen to something in this style, like some Nirvana albums or Versus by Pearl Jam, and you just hear the drums really driving, and you know, they're just beating the heck out of them. Philip Selway doesn't really do that here, and I don't really think that's a good thing for this kind of music. I think you need somebody like Dave Grohl on the drums, who's just providing that energy to match the energy of the guitars and the vocals. All right, this is kind of dramatic. I feel like this this almost sounds like, at least Tom's vocal sounds like it could be him performing in a play on Broadway or something. Just really over the top. Not really sure how I feel about that. Okay, that was a short one. Yeah, I didn't really care much for that one. Tom's vocals just were too over the top for me. And, you know, like I said about the drums, which I think might be a theme for the entire album here. You know, those heavy guitars just blasting, and then I can just picture Philip on the drums, you know, like he's a really technical player. And he's really tasteful, which doesn't really mesh well with these songs. I like this song so far. Not so grungy, maybe more in the vein of the Bends. You can hear a lot of the promise in these songs. I mean, even more so in the Bends, but you know, the Bends is a great album in its own right. I know a lot of people sleep on this album, but these are some good songs so far, except for that last one I didn't care for much, but this one might be my favorite of the bunch so far. This one's Stop Whispering, in case you couldn't tell from the lyrics. Man, we're not even halfway through the song yet, though. See what happens, but it's probably about to get real loud. That was cool. That's got to be Johnny on the guitar there. I like this jam here. Man, I can't believe I took so long to listen to this album. I mean, it's not one of my favorite Radiohead albums yet, but I don't know, it's not bad at all. It should have been in my rotation of songs and albums. So that's why there was another whole half of the song left. This is awesome. Whew. Yeah, they really, I was just gonna say, I wonder if this next song is gonna tone things down a little bit. Been some really kicking songs in the first 4 of the album. Thinking About You. I like this one a lot. And you can really appreciate it for what it is, too. I mean, this is their first album. I don't even know how long they'd have been a band for at this point, but this song almost sounds like it could have gotten the same treatment that True Love Waits got, you know? You know, that was a song that they've been holding on to since, I forget when they first wrote that song, but, you know, it didn't come out until A Moon-Shaped Pool. And, you know, they completely reworked it with the theme of the album and the chiming pianos in the background. So if that song hadn't been on Pablo Honey, I could have seen it getting the same treatment as True Love Waits got from A Moon-Shaped Pool. Anyone can play guitar, except for whoever's playing right now. Yeah. Go Colin. I like that bass line. Man, that bass line has really been the best part about this song so far. Chorus isn't bad though. That's kind of cool. I don't really like this bridge that much though. I'm not really a big fan of this one. Maybe it's just the song, but I feel like the album might be starting to grate on me a little bit. I imagine that'd be hard to do with any band though, like listen to all their other stuff and then try to go back and listen to their debut. Because grungy guitars isn't really the reason you listen to Radiohead. Yeah, this album might have been front-loaded a little bit. You know, I like those first 5 songs quite a bit, actually. But these last 2, it just haven't really been my thing. Alright, I want to listen to In Rainbows now. This is really wearing on me. And it's hard because Radiohead's other albums are so great that even if this is a decent album, you know, first off, it's not really my style that I like to listen to very much. It just doesn't have the magic that other Radiohead albums have. The songwriting just isn't great. It's not bad, but... And I really just don't care for the drum sound on this album. I know I've talked about, you know, Philip Selway's playing, but, you know, I think some of it's the mixing also. I think it's really, really drenched in reverb, which I know is kind of a staple of the late 80s and early 90s. You know, it's the sound of a band discovering who they are, really. You know, they probably realized after recording this and listening back to it and reflecting on it, you know, that they wanted to do something beyond this sound. Johnny still sounds like Johnny, though. I feel like that dude hasn't changed his look since... I don't know what he looked like during Pablo Honey, but, you know, he just had that long black hair over his eyes and that real... you know, he's just had that look since all the interviews I've seen of the band and all the live performances I've seen. Wonder if he, I wonder if it's been that way since Pablo Honey. I'll have to look up some pictures of the band when they recorded this album. I know Tom had that bleached blonde hair. I think I've heard this song actually. I like this chord progression. I've always liked this chord progression though. I'm a little biased. Okay, this is a little better than the last several songs. I need to go through and keep track of which songs I've enjoyed so far. I think most, you know, the first 5 songs, I think I enjoyed all of those. This one's the 9th song. I think, yeah, this one's just a good song. I can actually see myself listening to this song a decent amount. Yeah, that was a good one. That's one of my favorites up to this point. I feel like this should have been an EP. You know, I like this song too. But, you know, some of these just... A lot of these songs are, for me, just love them or hate them, you know? You guys should let me know down in the comments if you prefer Pablo Honey or The King of Limbs, because I know both of those are kind of looked down upon in the Radiohead catalog by a lot of fans. Now, for me personally, it's no question. I really like The King of Limbs. You know, that's, you know, definitely not my least favorite Radiohead album. Might even be up there in the top 5 or 6, you know, which... Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this album compared to The King of Limbs, or if there's another comparison I should be making. You know, maybe there's another album that I'm not aware of that Radiohead fans just don't enjoy as much as others. I would think those would be like Hail to the Thief or Amnesiac, but I like both of those albums. You know, now so far this is definitely that album for me that I could just do without from the Radiohead catalog if I had to pick one. You know, some of these songs I like a decent amount, but, you know, it's just the step up from this to the Bends even is huge. And then from there, they just continue to climb, you know. And Rainbows is my personal favorite from Radiohead. I bought Trouble Will Find Me by The National on vinyl, and the vinyl had a scratch, and it was skipping on my record player. So I brought it back to the record store, and they didn't have another copy of it. They said, here, go pick something else out, you know, of equal price. So I saw In Rainbows, and I thought, okay, I've never listened to Radiohead very much. I'll give this a shot. And I fell in love immediately. I remember hearing Nude for the first time in my apartment, and just, like, I couldn't believe that I'd gone that long without listening to Radiohead and hearing that beautiful song, you know? And then All I Need and Reckoner and Videotape, all those just... It's an awesome album. I should really focus on listening more, but I feel like I kind of get the gist of the album. And I know that other than cherry picking a few songs here and there, I probably won't listen to this too much beyond this. Okay, depending on where this goes, this could be my favorite song on the album. I feel like you can really hear the emotion in Tom's voice on this song. Yeah, I like this one. It just comes together really nicely. I always like repetition in songs. If it's a good chord progression and if there's some interesting stuff going on, then, you know, repeat that just as long as you need to. And I think this is a good example of that. I'm really connecting with this one. Yeah, that was awesome. That's definitely my favorite song of the album. I know this one. My band back in college actually covered this song. So this was the only one that I'd heard from the album, apart from Creep, obviously, but I can't remember if we covered this song or if we thought about covering it and then just never did. Oh, we covered this. I remember playing that guitar part. Yeah, this record's just so scattered. Like, I love this song. I loved the last song. Prove Yourself was pretty good, too. There's that chunk of songs in the middle, and then there's a few other moments that I just don't vibe with too much. Yeah, this is a great one. It would have been interesting to hear, like, if some of these songs had been recorded on a later album, like The Bends or OK Computer, because I think a lot of what holds this album back is the production, you know, like the mixing and that kind of stuff. This is a good song to close the album out with, too. Is that a bass line going on, or is that guitar? There was something going on there that was pushing the song forward, and I couldn't pinpoint what the instrument was. Pan to the left ear. If you guys know what that instrument is, let me know, because I'm curious. I can't pinpoint it for some reason. That's pretty cool. Those guitars just take up the whole atmosphere of this song right now. Really creepy stuff. It sounds like somebody screaming. What a way to end an album. So I feel like the end of that album with I Can't and Lurgy and Blowout really turned things around for me in terms of my opinion of the album. I love those first 5 songs, and then I think once I heard the next 3, I got a little disappointed and thought, oh, the band probably just really front-loaded the album with all their best songs. But that's not the case. That was a nice ending. That was a nice end to the album. So I liked the beginning of the album, really didn't care for the middle, and the end was pretty strong. I need to see, so those songs that I didn't like were Anyone Can Play Guitar, Ripcord, and Vegetable. You take those songs out of this album, and it's still a 33-minute, either a really short album or a bit of a longer EP. I'm not sure what you would classify it as at that point, but the album's just kind of brought down by those few songs for me. Now, as far as where this stands for me on Radiohead's discography, probably at the bottom. I can't think of any of their albums that I would put below Pablo Honey. I do love all of their other stuff, though. I mean, that's kind of hard for me. Like even the albums that some fans like this one, but then they don't like this other one. Some people hate the King of Limbs. I love the King of Limbs. Some people don't really care for Hail to the Thief, and I think that's a solid album, and that might be the one that's closest to Pablo Honey, down at the bottom tier for me in terms of Radiohead stuff. I talked a lot about the drums and the production of this album, and they were just starting out. It was their first album. I mean, how many bands can put out an album that's their first and put out something like this? This was not bad at all. It was actually really good. It's just got to be put last in terms of Radiohead because of the competition, what it's going up against. I'll have to revisit this one. I'd like to listen to it a few more times, then give it a proper review. Let me know in the comments what albums you guys want me to listen to and look at next. If I haven't ever listened to it before, I'll check it out. And if I have, maybe I'll just do a more normal review of the album as opposed to like a first impressions listening video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate you guys for taking the time to check it out and clicking those 2 buttons. But overall, solid album. I'm glad I finally listened to it. I think it took way too long for me to check it out, but I'm glad I finally did, and I'm looking forward to whatever I decide to listen to next. But thanks guys. Until next time.